later on, Michael then came home from football because the football game was always after the netball. And they both went at him. And I remember they were yelling and screaming at him, and I got out of bed to go and defend him. And they turned on, or Dad especially turned on me and said, "You're a bad influence on your sisters and you're not welcome in this house anymore." And I just looked at him and said, "All right then." And I just walked back up to my room and I got my keys and my wallet and I walked out. And I remember my younger brother saw the look in my face and he knew that it was serious. Mm-hmm. And he went and jumped in the car, in the passenger seat of the car. And I got in the car and I said to him, "Andy, just get out of the car. Just get out of the car." And he said, "I'm not getting out." And he was terrified. And I said, "Get out of the car." And he said, "I'm not getting out." I said, "Just get out of the car." And eventually he just looked at me and then he just got out and I just drove off. And I drove and drove and drove and sobbed and drove and drove. And I really knew that this was it. Like I just got the sense that, nah, this is it. I've got to do it. You tell me to leave, I'll leave. And I just drove and drove and drove into the night, and I was driving for hours and just crying, and I didn't even have a phone. I didn't even have a mobile phone, and I rocked up. I suddenly came to my senses, and I was miles from home, hours away in this other little country town, in the pitch black night, and I suddenly came to my senses and like, well, where are you going? Where are you going? Because I had not made a plan or anything. I was just driving. And I was terrified to even think about going to him. And then I thought about my other uncle and auntie that had left 7 years before. All I knew about them was where they lived. I knew that, there was my uncle and auntie and they lived in this area of Perth. And so I thought, stuff it, I'm going to have to call them. I'm going to have to call them from a phone box. Didn't even have their number. So I went to the phone box, rattled around, got some coins together out of the car and went to the phone box, and I rang the directory and asked for my uncle and aunties, in this area. And they gave me the number, and I rang the number. My auntie answered, and she had to try and guide me to her place with no mobile phone and no idea where I was. Tried to guide me into Perth and to where they lived. And then I got almost there and had to call her again from another payphone, and she said, "You're just around the corner," and she was able to guide me to her. And that was just a phenomenal experience. Like, that's how I got to my uncle and auntie's house.